From WSYR 9.2 in Syracuse, this is News Channel 9 at 10.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Rod Wood. It was a big day at Syracuse University. One of the many announcements today was the end to Coach Jim Boeheim's career. The Hall of Famer has spent the past 39 years as head coach at his alma mater and now will be retiring in 3 seasons. With the many sanctions against SU, it may seem like this was the perfect time for Boeheim to walk away, but his good friend and current SU basketball radio analyst Jim Satlin tells us he sees other reasons.
There was a couple things, obviously, that he wanted to have done. He wanted to make sure that he was through the Olympics, which is next summer. So that was through the 15-16 season. And then he's got 2 years after that, which I'm sure that he wants to make sure that parents that are being recruited, players that are being recruited, that they can explain a lot of that stuff today. Or when they're talking to the parents and families and the players and the recruits themselves, to be able to let them know that, okay, here's the process. So I'm pretty sure that's probably why it came out to that number, and I haven't talked to him at all, but I would think that's probably it.
Now, SU's NCAA representative Rick Burton says no one had to twist Boeheim's arm to go into retirement. We will have live coverage of Coach Boeheim's remarks tomorrow morning starting at 10 o'clock on News Channel 9's Bridge Street and local SYR.com. After a decade as SU's athletic director, Darrell Gross is stepping down. He will stay at the school as a special advisor to the chancellor and adjunct professor in the school's sports management program. This comes 2 weeks after the NCAA found many infractions that happened during the time Gross was athletic director.
Being an athletic director for 10 years is like being in an Indy car. You're going 225 miles an hour, and you take a few pit stops, but you're going. You know, you're going. And 10 years is a long time. And, you know, most ADs at one particular institution will go 4 or 5 years, I think, as they average. 10 years, we got a lot done. And so there's a lot to really break down and check out and be proud of. And you know, I hope others feel that. And I think it can get even better.
The university says it will appeal some of the penalties from the NCAA. Taking away wins and scholarships are 2 of the penalties the university is fighting. The NCAA's Infraction Appeals Committee will hear the school's case, but no one knows exactly how long it will take. The NCAA website says the appeals process can take 110 days and could take longer. We still don't know if Jim Boeheim will be appealing his 9-game suspension, which is set to take place at the start of next season. The university says it will stand by Boeheim if he chooses to go that route. With so many changes to the SU men's basketball team, Orange Nation is reacting to this surprising news tonight. News Channel 9's Caitlin Newclo talks with fans on Marshall Street.
Well, a lot of news for SU fans to digest today, but what everyone is talking about on the Hill right now is Boeheim's retirement.
I'm a freshman, so at least I have him for the next 3 years, but it's going to be a big loss for the school and the team itself. But I think we can carry on without him. We'll be fine.
I think that it's right. You know, 3 years. Of course, it's sad to see him retire, but with everything that's going on right now, Boeheim is getting older. He's been with Syracuse for 30-plus years. I think that's an appropriate time. I'm glad that it's not sooner than 3 years.
It came as a little bit of a surprise. We were hoping that he'd at least be able to get to his 1,000 wins, Coach Boeheim.
And of course, another lingering question for fans tonight is how will Boeheim's retirement in a couple of years impact the future of the basketball program? That still being decided. On the SU Hill tonight, I'm Caitlin Newclow.
Testimony will resume tomorrow morning in the murder trial of a well-known Syracuse doctor. The trial began this morning with first responders describing the scene when arriving at the mansion of Dr. Robert Newlander. The doctor is charged with the 2012 murder of his wife, Leslie. DeWitt police officer Chase Bilodeau was one of the first to arrive. They say Newlander and his daughter, Jenna, were very upset. Bilodeau got some pretty tough cross-examination about his actions at the Newlander home, what he did and didn't do at the scene. Nearly 6 months later, Rome police have finally made an arrest in connection with a shooting outside Buc-ee's restaurant that killed 22-year-old Rose Ortiz. Police have charged 25-year-old Darnell Howard with second-degree murder. He's also charged with reckless endangerment and criminal possession of a weapon. Howard was on parole at the time of the shooting. He's being held at Oneida County Jail without bail. A man has been arrested after a shooting rampage in Mesa, Arizona. 1 person was killed, 4 others wounded, and 1 is in critical condition tonight. ABC's Kana Whitworth has more.
She told me that her boyfriend got shot and now he's gone.
Detective Esteban Flores says he believes the shooter and the victim knew each other, and the shooting happened after some kind of argument. 2 women were also shot at the hotel before police say he went to a nearby restaurant on a high school campus, shot a 4th victim, and stole a car.
Gray, dark Honda Accord. Suspect is armed with a .422 handgun.
I mean, we come here every day, so I don't know. It was weird knowing that happened like right outside our door.
We believe his motive at the other locations was robbery and carjackings and just trying to get away.
Police say the shooter fled to a vacant apartment where he broke in and shot a 5th victim. The Mesa SWAT team found him on the balcony where they used a taser to subdue him and took him into custody wearing a white hazmat suit. A day of chaos and fear has come to an end, but the pain has not.
It just hurts me that she has to go through this tragedy that her boyfriend's gone, and what is she gonna do? It's just sad.
Detective Flores says all 5 people were treated at a hospital, 1 in critical condition with multiple gunshot wounds. In Los Angeles, I'm Kana Whitworth, ABC News.
Senator Kirsten Gillibrand tonight is working to provide paid leave to all American workers. The Family Act would establish a national gender-neutral paid family and medical leave insurance program. Under current law, companies with more than 50 employees must provide 12 weeks of unpaid leave for new parents, but requires no paid leave. In fact, only 13% of workers in the U.S. have access to paid leave through their employers.
We should not force our workforce to choose between earning a paycheck and caring for a sick family member. And we should give both parents the time they need to tend to a new baby or adopt a child without worrying about whether they will be able to make ends meet.
Senator Gillibrand says the United States is the only industrialized nation in the world without any form of paid family leave. A new fire station has just been approved in the village of Manlius. Voters narrowly approved the plan tonight. The fire department is hoping to break ground on a $10 million station at the intersection of Route 92 and Enders Road as soon as this summer. Property taxes will increase to fund the new station. The owner of a $150,000 home, for instance, will pay an extra $48 a year. An alarming report tonight shows young drivers are more distracted than ever. The study published in the Journal of Transportation Safety and Security finds that while most teens understand the risk of texting while driving, they are less aware of the dangers of other distractions like eating, drinking, and talking on the phone. Young drivers also have a higher risk tolerance. They use seat belts less and speed more. The study also finds 27% of people who responded to the survey changed clothing or did homework while they were driving. And experts say that classroom presentation could help young drivers be more focused on the road.
Now, Storm Team meteorologist Dave Eichhorn with Central New York's most accurate forecast.
Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, that's going to be sweet. Speaking of sweet, that's probably going to get the maple sap really flowing.
All right, Dave, thank you. That is our report for tonight. We thank you for joining us here. Remember, for news and weather updates right around the clock, just head to our place on the web, localsyr.com. Have a good night.
From WSYR 9.2 in Syracuse, this is News Channel 9 at 10.
Good evening, I'm Christy Casciano. Apartments, offices, new stores, perhaps even a hotel. This is all included in plans to renovate Shoppingtown Mall in DeWitt. In the redesign, the part of the mall between Dick's Sporting Goods and Sears would be demolished and converted into an outdoor strip mall with a mixture of stores.
But we'd like to see the mall part of a mixed-use package. And so, again, we think there's an awful lot of opportunity on that site. It's a great location, and obviously retail is suffering, but there could be combined retail and other uses on the site, ranging from senior housing to condominiums to office space.
The town of DeWitt has to approve the plans before construction can begin on the mall. A possible solution to Syracuse's infrastructure problem, Syracuse Mayor Stephanie Miner went to the state legislature today asking for funding to fix the city's water mains and sewer system. She says these repairs are essential to the economic success of hospitals in areas of the city like downtown and the Inner Harbor.
But if we can't provide them water in a predictable way, then I posit to you Why are we investing all of this money on top of that? Providing water to these institutions is a basic service.
The mayor says there have been more than 2,100 water main breaks in Syracuse in the last 10 years, including a record of 391 just last year. One state has the most colleges and universities being investigated for sexual assaults, and that state is New York. This is why all 64 SUNY schools have adopted a new sexual assault prevention and response policy. As News Channel 9's Caitlin Nuclo tells us, the governor is pushing for that same policy on every college campus in the state.
Enough is enough. Enough is enough. We need to do more.
The state's campaign aims to fight back against sexual violence on college campuses.
No one,
especially the victim,
should be punished for reporting a sexual assault.
More than 5,000 assaults were reported by colleges in 2012, and officials say that appalling number is likely low because many cases are never investigated.
This is a sensitive topic, so people tend to shy away from the conversation. And that then becomes part of the problem because you're never going to solve a problem you're unwilling to admit.
The SUNY system is trying to be proactive in combating the problem. This year, it implemented a multi-step policy on all 64 of its campuses. It clearly defines consent, protects witnesses from getting in trouble for reporting an assault, and makes sure victims know their rights and their resources. Cuomo now putting pressure on private colleges in New York to put those same protections in place.
We now want to take that experience on SUNY campuses and make that the law of the land. We're protecting women on SUNY campuses. We should protect women on every campus in the state of New York.
Governor Cuomo has also proposed a law to make sure all colleges and universities in the state follow the sexual assault policy. The lieutenant governor plans to travel across the state to raise awareness and support for the bill. Also today, state police will provide a hotline dedicated to responding to sexual assaults on college campuses. That number is 1-844-845-7269. Specially trained members will be on call 24 hours a day to respond. That's not the only change for SUNY campuses. In a meeting today, SUNY presidents asked the governor for more funding. The president spoke about the importance of investing in the low-cost college system. They're asking for an increase in funds to the New York SUNY 2020 program. This program made $140 million available to SUNY schools to develop long-term development plans in 2011.
If you give us the resources, we will be successful. We'll help our students finish in 4, and I think it's the best dollar investment that one can make in New York.
The NY SUNY 2020 program also includes a rational tuition program that limits how much a school can raise tuition every year. Other companies are following suit after Walmart announced they will raise the minimum wage in their stores. TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Home Goods employees will now be making up to $10 an hour. This matches Walmart's raise. The owner of the TJX companies will first raise wages in June to $9 an hour. Then at some point next year, workers who have been with the company for 6 months will get bumped up to $10 an hour. Syracuse police need your help to try to identify 2 suspects believed to be linked to the theft of a cell phone. It happened on August 14th at a pawn shop on the East Seneca Turnpike. Police say the store clerk left his phone on the counter while the suspects were in the store. When he returned his phone and the 2 men were gone. If you have any information on who these guys are, give Syracuse police a call at 442-5238. We have an update on the 3 men arrested in a failed attempt to join ISIS. One of the 3 men had more plans than just to join the terrorist group. According to a federal court in Brooklyn, one of the men had plans to assassinate the president. The man says he did not have immediate plans, but had discussed it with the other 2 men who were arrested. The 3 men all live in Brooklyn.
The arrests of these 3 would-be terrorists should send a chill down the spine of all New Yorkers and all Americans. It shows you that those who seek to do real damage to us, whether by going abroad and coming back or by doing it here, are present. And we can never be too vigilant or too careful.
All 3 men had plans to hijack a plane today and go to Syria. but all of them were stopped before they could board a plane. Across central New York, people are without water tonight as the bitter cold takes a major toll on water pipes in the area. Crews in the city of Ithaca are dealing with nearly triple the amount of frozen pipes this winter. As News Channel 9's Jennifer Sanders shows us, it's not only putting a strain on residents, but also on resources.
For almost a week and a half, Billy Park here at 3D Light in the Ithaca Commons has had no water. It's all thanks to frozen pipes caused by sub-zero temperatures that we've experienced almost every day this month.
The water in the bathroom's not working right now, so every time I have to go to the bathroom, I have to close up the store for like 10 minutes, walk to Center Ithaca where there's a public bathroom.
Crews working throughout the day to repair many of the freezes happening between water mains under the streets and pipes running into businesses like Billy's store.
The ground is frozen so deep that once the ground starts to thaw, the ground is still frozen deep down where the water pipes are. So it may take a while for the pipes to actually be clear of that.
Over just the past week, the city has gotten more than 40 calls for frozen pipes. Now that's triple the number they usually have this time during the winter season, and it's forcing crews to work 12-hour shifts just to keep up.
Our resources are stretched about as thin as they can get. In addition to the cold weather and the pipe freezes, we've had a number of water main breaks, which have turned a lot of our streets to ice, which ties up our snow removal crews as well.
But this winter, crews have a new tool in their arsenal to make the thawing process a little easier.
Because this would screw right into there.
This hot water jet uses flexible tubing to feed a special spray into the frozen pipe, releasing high pressure to thaw the line. It's a process they say is quicker and safer, helping folks like Billy get back in business. Reporting in Ithaca, Jennifer Sanders, News Channel 9.
And they've got about 15 more pipes to fix there. The city is urging people to call the Water and Sewer Division if you don't have water. That number is 607-272-1717.
Now, Storm Team meteorologist Dave Eichhorn with Central New York's most accurate forecast.
All right, well, as things unfold in the United States instead of southern Canada, and with that, temperatures warm into the 30s. Maybe some rain or wet snow with that mid-next week.
Thank you, Dave. That's our report for tonight, and thanks for joining us. For news and weather updates around the clock, just head to localsyr.com. Have a great night.